Hello again and welcome back. I hope you are all well. If you are new around here, then hello, nice to meet you. And if you are returning, then thank you very fucking much for coming back. I do still sound a little bit sick, but feeling much better than I was. I swear to God, like this time last week, or as you're watching this, probably like 2 weeks ago. Oh my God, I honestly thought I would die. I thought I was gonna die, my head was gonna explode. It was not good. So I'm feeling 10 times better than that, even if I still sound a little odd. This video is gonna be in collaboration with the gorgeous, the wonderful, the phenomenal Kelly from Keep Beauty Real. I have been doing a little bit of decluttering. I don't know if you've seen those videos. If you've not, then I will link them up here. And basically, Kelly messaged me, maybe like 3 weeks ago or something, and was like, do you fancy doing a collaboration on a shop my stash? And I was like, right, that's really weird, because I literally just messaged my pal Syra saying I really need to do a declutter and start shopping the things that I've already got rather than buying new things all the time. So Kelly was like, excellent, great timing, fantastic. So I figured what I would do today is recreate this look for you. If you like this look, it's very greasy, it's very blue, it's this, that and the other. Because I thought, I do not utilise blue enough. I do not wear blue enough. I shy away from blue a little bit. And to be honest with you, it just scares me a little bit. And I thought, face your fears. And the legend that is Katie Jane Hughes recently reposted a blue look that she done a little while ago. And I thought, right, we're collaborating with Kelly. We've got Katie Jane Hughes, the absolute legend. And I was like, do you know what? I know for a fact Kelly loves Katie Jane Hughes as well. And I thought, let's go for it. Let's try and recreate a Katie Jane Hughes look using stuff that I already have, nothing new, and just revisiting some old things that I've got and doing it a la Katie Jane Hughes style. I also, Kelly, if you're watching this, copied your braid tutorial. My hair is not as long as Kelly's, it kind of stops here, it's a little shorter. But she done a lovely braid, like simple braid tutorial, and I was like, fuck yeah. So put that in today, partly because I've not washed my hair for like 5 days, but also because I thought it looked really pretty. And I thought, oh, that's quite nice, it's a little different, because normally I always have my hair down and curled on this channel. So if you are new around here and you've came over from Kelly's channel, then hello, it is so nice to have you here. My name is Alana and I am a 30-something, 34, let's be honest, lady from Scotland. And yeah, that's where the accent's from. And I do love the odd sweary word on my channel. I'm really sorry if that offends you. I'm not that sorry. If you're not into it, then just... But I do have the odd sweary word on this channel. We are from Scotland after all, and the swear words just roll off the tongue when you're Scottish. You don't mean it in a bad way. Sometimes actually in Scotland it's like a term of endearment. Like you would just literally be saying that you really liked somebody and you'd be like, oh, he's a great cunt, even though that word offends a lot of people, I know. I don't say that word that often, but fuck, shite and bugger, they come into the vocabulary quite a lot. So if you're not into that, then I completely understand. But if you're new around here, you can take a bit of swearing, you like a bit of makeup, and you want to see how I created this look, then please keep on watching. If you are one of my normal viewers though, because we'd usually go into the video here, please go and check out Kelly's channel. Please, 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 she is fucking brand new. She does hair and makeup as a profession. She is a professional, so I have a lot of respect for this woman. I have a lot of respect for her techniques and how she shows us how to do things. I like the fact that, with no disrespect to anybody who's younger, but she isn't a teenage influencer that I'm watching and being like, okay, that's great on your like 19-year-old skin. She's a lady of a similar age range to me, and I think, do you know what, it's so nice and so refreshing to see makeup, bright makeup, colourful makeup, different makeup, and indie brands, things like that, over on her channel, and it is just refreshing to watch. I will link everything down below, and I will link Kelly's channel up here in this corner. Please go and check it out. And if you want to see how I do this, then please keep on watching. Hey, so this is my semi-messy vanity, but let's just not look above here. I thought I would show you what I've pulled out from my wee collection. I've got the electric palette from Urban Decay. I've got a very old sleek palette. If you've watched my declutters, then you might have already seen this one, but it is the only kind of blue toned palette. Sorry, one-handed is not good. It is the only kind of blue toned palette that I own, but I do pull it out every single year. And I also thought I would pull out one of the Pat mini palettes
Again, one-handed, not great, because it's got this blue in it, which I just thought, oh hello, that might be good. For the eyes, I've pulled out this one. It's like a big 24/7 Kajal eyeliner, but it is a navy one, so I think that might work quite well. I have also pulled out the Flower Beauty Princess Warrior for the eyes. I've also pulled out the Dual Stick from H&M, but I'm hoping that these two lipsticks, again, maybe you've seen it in the Declutter, Burt's Bees one and a number 7 one. This one's like a rust colour, this one's like a nude colour. These on the cheeks might work. I've also pulled out this from Kiko. It is one of their Everlasting Colour lip liners. I've brought out the Radiance, Lasting Radiance, sorry, from Rimmel to give that a go. Oh, I've also pulled out the Kaleidos Futurism palette, the Electro Turquoise one, because I think these ones here, this turquoise and this silver, are going to work smashing with that. I've pulled out some individual eyelashes, NARS Laguna, because I know she uses it in the look, and Danessa Myricks Duet Balm. And I think, oh, Glossy Boy Brow and MAC Prep and Prime, just a mini, because I do want to have to wet the eyeshadows, and Glossy Stretch because it's my favourite concealer. But that is what I've pulled out to do the look, so let's go on with it. I do not own any of the stuff that Katie Jane Hughes uses in her Instagram stories to create this look, apart from NARS Laguna. I think she uses that and I have that, that's it. So let's just get tucked into this and we'll try our best. I am not Katie Jane Hughes, I will never be Katie Jane Hughes, she is a legend, but we'll try our best. Went in with like a black, it was like a eyeliner pencil basically, but I've got this kind of blue one here, and I thought this might actually work really well for the kind of look that is. So I'm just gonna pop that there and then buff that out a little bit. And she basically just said, like, use this as your primer. My concern is that this is like some sort of 24/7 and might not buff out. I maybe waited a little too long to do that there. Nothing I can do about it now, let's just go with the flow. It is a halo eye, so don't worry if you're doing this thinking, this looks crazy, it's shit. It will come together. All halo eyes start off a bit like that and you think, oh my god, what am I doing? But actually, they do come together really nicely. So, just gonna put that on the outer aspect. And then in here as well, which always gives me the absolute fear when I do it, but as I say, things come together. Now I'm using, like, this is relatively stiff, this brush. It is fluffy, but it's not like one of those super duper, it's not really like a blending brush. It's got a little bit of density to it. So I'm using that to be able to blend. It's essentially an eyeliner or a cream shadow, I suppose. But I'm using that just to get kind of in to where I want it to be, and what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's almost stamp it into your skin. Now again, fear not, I know what you're thinking. Why have I came to this channel? Kelly said this woman could do makeup. Look at the state of this. It is going to look a little frightening here at first, because you're like, why am I putting dark into my inner corner? Nowadays we are kind of, taught is probably the wrong word, but we're kind of told nowadays, like, highlight that inner corner, it makes your eyes look really big. And it probably does do that, but if you're looking for really interesting shapes of eyes or interesting looks, like something just a little different, which I like. I love one and done looks. I love like really simple, just sweep on the lid and really fresh, like pretty looks. I love that. But when I'm doing something like this and it's a little different, things are going to be a little out your comfort zone and you're going to think, oh my god, what am I doing? Like, this doesn't look right at all. But go with it. It actually should come together quite nicely. If you're really like, I cannot do this, by all means, do it in the shape that your eye is used to. Do it in like just this kind of deepening up here, but do all the colours. Use it as a bit of inspiration rather than to do an exact copycat. I'm going to take now this blue one. It's kind of like a royal blue, but it's got a slight purple undertone to it. I may mix this with a little bit of this one here. This one is a little bit more of a shimmer to it, so I think I'm going to mix those two together. Now I'm going to take some Fix Plus because it should be wet when you're using this shadow. Okay, so I've kind of mixed a couple of colours in my hand there to figure out what exactly I want to put on the lid here. So I'm going for blue, royal blue almost, with like a slight undercurrent of purple to it.
I think this is maybe even a little too dark. But as I say, this is an inspired look, not a definite look. So we're just gonna go with it. So what I realised when she was using her brush was, I'm using quite a stiff brush here. She used a really soft brush. I'm not even sure what kind of brush it was. And kind of just buffed it all on, made it look really fucking flawless. Alright, Kay. I can't do that. So I've went in with a more fluffy brush now, and I'm starting to just work that around and just basically move the shadow up slowly so that it's kind of like a gradient. That's the word I was fucking looking for, a gradient. I love a smoked out eye. It's probably one of my favourite kind of eyes to do. I find it really easy. It doesn't have to be perfection. And as I'm someone who doesn't particularly worry about base or foundation so much, I'm not a big face person, as you can tell. I find that getting your eyes done nice kind of takes away from the fact that you might have really shitty facial features. So I kind of just go with it, to be honest with you. I like doing mussed up looks. I do like really simplified looks as well, but these to me, I don't know, they just call to me. I love it. Okay, so that's kind of coming together, but I'm gonna go back in with this kind of aqua blue one in the Sleek palette, slightly aqua blue one, because I feel like that's just got a little too purpley. Well, this is a much bit better. Maybe I should have just stuck with the Sleek palette in the first place. This is a much better match actually for what her eye kind of looks like. Sorry, I felt like I was losing a bit of light from you there. There we go. So what Katie Jane uses, she takes it right up here. She does have a very different shape eye from me. I've got a much more rounded eye socket, and she is much more kind of, I don't know how I would explain it, like her eye, like she does have this crease that she's got going on, but I think her crease is lower down on the lid than mine. So I'm just working this to my eye shape, and I will take it quite high, and I'm going to try and pull this out a little bit as well. And again, she just went under with her big brush right underneath. I'm a little dubious about this because I feel like this is going to be just too fat. My brush maybe isn't as petite. Hold on. This one is a little more petite. I'm going to go in with this one instead, just underneath as well, because that's what she just basically went and made it look so fucking easy. And again, if you're getting any fallout or anything like that, don't worry, because you've not done any base yet. And if you're getting anything like you feel, oh, this is getting a bit out of hand over here because I feel like there's a lot going on here, don't worry, because you can tidy it up. Now I quite like where that is just now, but I want to add in some of this slightly aqua shade of blue, just because I think the colour is not perfect to what she had. Definitely seems a little bit more aqua going on in her eye than mine. Mine's is, I've put too much purpley blue on, I think. But I'm just gonna do that all the way up here. Again, with this is quite a dense and quite a stiff brush. But she then went in with, it's like a silvery blue, and she just, she said it was a lavender, actually, let's be honest with you, like a silvery blue lavender. I am gonna go in with the Kaleidos palette, this one here, and then I'm gonna just use that round about these edges here to give it that real shimmer effect. And I didn't need to dip my brush very deeply into that. These shadows are so pigmented, it's unreal. So I'm just blending that with the blue. Doesn't really matter if it's not perfect. Again, I love these looks because, again, you know me, I like a fucking 80s looking fabulous. Ugh. Alright, I'm now going to go in with, is this one called Tron? I can never remember. Yeah, Tron from the Kaleidos palette. And she actually wet this one as well when she was using it. Not this specific eyeshadow, obviously. But she wet the eyeshadow she was using, as I say, Revlon ones. So I'm going to wet mine ever so slightly. And this does have a nice, slightly duochrome effect. So I'm going to pop that on where she put her blue teal shade. Oh, look at that. Oh my god, I love it, I love it. And I'm gonna take it right up, almost in a bit of a diagonal, just so that it gets the real like effect, the shimmer effect, right through the middle of the lid. I quite like that she takes things up this shape. It kind of just, I don't know, there's something about it that I think when you do that, it just looks amazing. I'm just going to go in with a slightly softer brush because obviously that was a wet shadow and it's a dry brush, just to ease that out a bit. And this is the one I actually used a bit of the silver on as well, so it should all just meld together nicely. And if I feel like I'm losing some of this beautiful blue colour, I'm going back in with the same brush that I used just to bring that shape back in again. I don't know if you can hear my cat in the background. She's fine. She sounds very distressed. I've got 2 cats if you're new. Again, hi. Molly! Molly! What's wrong? You coming to see me? Come on in. Oh, she's the heavier one. Hi, this is Molly. Oh, your little eye looks like it's watering. I'll sort that out for you. She just doesn't like the idea that she might be on her own in the flat. She doesn't really like it. Oh, look at my wee marshmallow. She's actually the softest kitten. She's so lovely. So, it's okay. I am still here. Don't worry, you can come and join me anytime you like. Okay, so that's where we're at now with the eyes. I'm quite happy. What I'm going to do is just add a little bit more definition under here because I feel like there's like this block, like there's not much distinction between the two. So I'm just going to add a tiny little bit, but with like a really deep, a navy instead of like a blue or a light blue or something. I'm going to take this navy and just do here. Again, don't worry about these bits, it'll be okay. It's just what you're not used to. There we go. So that's where I'm going to leave the eyes. I'm just going to go and put some mascara on and put some Glossier Boy Brow through my brows because, again, sorry, if you're new here, if you want to see how to do brows, I'm not the person to come through for that because these are my natural brows. When I brush them up, I already look like Groucho Marx, so I'm not going to be doing anything else to them. I do use the Boy Brow in brown. I don't use the clear one. I should say that as well. I think, was it my grunge goddess video? I was like, oh, I just put a brow gel through, and then even when I watched the video back in editing, I was like, it looks like you've put something else in your brows there, but I hadn't. What it is this does have a tint to it, so it helps with the shape, but that's all I feel I need. Sometimes I will put a little pencil through my brows, sometimes, but most of the time it is just a brow gel. And I do really like the Glossier Boy Brow, but Elf Wow Brow, absolute second to none dupe for it. So if you don't like stuff from Glossier, you don't want to just order one thing from Glossier, then absolutely pick up the one from Elf because it is a great dupe. Alright, so I'm just curling my lashes. And when I'm doing my lashes with a look like this, probably most of the time when I'm doing any kind of look, to be honest with you, but when I'm doing it with a look like this, I try and make sure they're going all directions. Does that make sense? So I don't want it just being like up at the side, like a little end lash. I make sure that they're all really fanned out. And again, in Katie Jane Hughes' little tutorial, she did add some individual lashes, which I am going to put on top as well, but I'm not going to get into that. It's just like little single lashes just to fill out the bits that I think are maybe a little sparse. I'm not going to go back in again once they're dry and put another coat on. I really just do this much preening and then I leave them be and pop the false lashes on. Now, I don't think she put anything in the waterline for this look. Generally I would be tempted to put something really deep and dark and smoky on, but I think she left it. So I'm going to leave it to the end, and then if I need something deeper on the waterline, then I might add that in, but I'm not going to do it straight away. Hopefully you can see the full kind of impact that eye makes now, even though at the start I know you were probably thinking you might even have clicked off already. That looks crazy. It actually kind of comes together really nicely. I am going to use this Lasting Radiance, and I'm just taking one pump of that, just a tiny pump, and I'm going to mix it with my Beauty Pie All in Wonder Illuminating Glow, because I don't want this to be a real cakey look. I want it to be very much like just healthy, glowing skin. That's the kind of look I like anyway. But I'm just going to take it in the area. So I have more pigmentation around about here. You can probably see it around about my chin, and probably more redness and stuff across my nose from when I've been quite sick last week. So I'm going to take it in these areas. I don't feel I need loads anywhere else really to cover anything up. I mean, why cover your skin up if you don't need it? So I'm just going to take this across here and just kind of dust it in the areas that I feel I probably require it. You don't have to make foundation like a mask. I know, listen, if you like a beat face, you do a fucking beat face. You do you. Don't you worry about what anybody else is fucking saying to you. But what I'm gonna say is, see how sometimes might be adverts, might be like on Instagram, you're scrolling, you know how it is, and you see these adverts that are like for cosmetics used to do it. There you go, I'll use that as a brand name. They're a big enough company. Who want to sue little me, then they can crack on. But it's like one of these things where you would see like one side of the face would be red and then they'd show the other side of the face and it would be like covered, completely covered. You wouldn't see their skin. And if you feel you need that, if you maybe have something like a rosacea or really bad acne or something, or you feel you really need to cover your skin up, that gives you confidence doing that, then absolutely do it. I am not a guy to tell you how to do your makeup. What I would say is though, if you're doing it because you feel that's what other people expect of you, maybe just sit on that and maybe think about it. Maybe just think, you know, like, is my natural skin that bad? Do I need to hide it? Or should I be showing kind of what my natural skin is like? Is it more realistic? Should I do that? But I honestly wouldn't want anyone feeling like as if they are doing something off the back of someone else's opinion of them, which is very easy to do and very easy for me to say, because let me tell you something, I worry about that all the time. So I've brought it down ever so slightly, but I have only used those 2 little pumps. Now what I'm going to do with my concealer, the concealer I particularly really like is Glossy Stretch, is now go in and give a little bit extra coverage to the areas that I feel probably require it, and just around right here. Sometimes I've got quite red around there. And I'm gonna just skim around about the eye, because I feel like taking this out a little further than Katie Jane Hughes did, but I done it to the shape of my eye, to be honest with you. And then I'm just gonna start buffing that in round about here. I'm gonna take it in here as well, because I feel like these bits in here got a little messy, but it's almost like you're using a rubber now to correct the mistakes. A rubber. People will think I'm talking about a condom. I'm not talking about a condom. A rubber is an eraser here in Scotland. So like an eraser, like you're taking an eraser to the places that you didn't want it. Just be sure that if you do that, you don't like put your concealer brush in the blue until the very end, because otherwise you will end up with blue all over your bloody face, which you don't want. Alright, so for the cheeks, Katie Jane Hughes went with some lipstick, but I am going to use this one here from H&M, and it is in a pinky tone. It's like English Rose, and I think it's kind of a similar colour to, she used the lipstick Marsala, I want to say, and then I have this one here which is like a rusty kind of matte rust colour, and I've just drew that over the top. I think those 2 colours together are gonna give me a similar effect. And remember, I've got different shade of skin tone and stuff from Katie Jane Hughes as well, and I'm just mixing the 2 of them together on the back of my hand, and then I will go in with a kind of stippling brush, I suppose, and just kind of place this as my blush. You know, just work it into your brush first. You don't need to put things straight on your face. I love putting things straight on my face. Again, in your endo. But to be honest with you, I think for the effect that this is given, you want to maybe buff it into your brush first before putting it on your face. Now, I feel that is a little too pink, so I'm gonna just, again, play with your makeup. This one here is like a nude lipstick. I'm gonna just blend some of that in as well, and hopefully that will just tone down. I'll just take it straight onto the brush too. I don't want it to be too pinky. It is a blush tone that she uses for a blush tone to use for blush. Oh, well done, Alana. But it is like a kind of more blush tone on her face, but I think this is looking a little pink, so I might go back in with my foundation brush in a second, skimming over that nice and light so it just blends in a little better. And it's
Still a little more pink than what she used. She's got a kind of more orangey tone, I think, from Marsala. But what I'm going to do is we're going to use bronzer anyway, because she used bronzer. I'll see what it is there, and then if I think it needs more, I can go off that. I'm going to pop a tiny wee bit across my nose as well, because I always think blusher across your nose, I really like it. I think it's really nice. So now I'm going to go in with the Laguna from NARS, and I'm going to just kind of frame my face with that, to be honest with you, because I have got the biggest cheeks and the biggest jaw ever. Look at that jowl right there. So I'm going to just kind of let this all fall back a little by bronzing. I'm not a big contour person, as you will all know, but bronzer and me, I love it. Fucking love it, mate. So I'm gonna just again do my jawline first, and then I'm gonna take it kind of in the hollow, but I'm gonna buff it right up and into that blush as well, just so it's like across the top of my face. That's where I like my bronzer placement to be, because if I was in the sun, that is exactly where my bronze, like my cheeks would get it. I would go this slightly more flush pink tone than I would a lovely olive tan tone, to be honest with you. So maybe the pink wasn't a bad option. And then I'll just do the same on this side, like start in the hollow, but I bring it a little higher and a little bit more like onto the cheeks rather than keeping it just down here. It's not contoured I do, I just make it look like I've got really sun-kissed skin. That is my aim when I'm doing this. And I'll just bring it up right here as well. Now for highlight, I've pulled out the Danessa Myricks Duet Balm because obviously it's gorgeous and it's like wetness on your skin. But I am going to use it with a brush, so I'm going to just work it into the brush. But I'm going to add a tiny bit of that silvery kind of shadow from Kaleidos. Now that might seem like, oh my god, what are you up to? But obviously if I go straight on with that, it's going to be crazy. I'm just going to mix it on the back of my arm with the Duet Balm so that I'm not going straight on to my skin, and then I'm going to go on to my high point. Alright, so I'm just going to take this right along the top there. I hope you can see that, but I'm just going to do the same on this side, right along the top there. And so I've mixed the Duet Balm and a little bit of like a shimmery shadow just across the top. I am also going to run that just across my Cupid's bow, because I love highlighting my Cupid's bow, and here, at the bridge of my nose, and here. That's probably enough sweat glow for me. Alright, I think I can lose my wee hair clip now. There we go. My lovely hairdos all went to shit now. Right, so as we know, I do not have the Marsala lipstick that she used. I'm going to go in with the Kiko one. This is her Everlasting Colour. It's in 421. I am going to slightly overdraw my lips because I feel like I don't really... I've got a Cupid's bow right there, but sometimes it's a little bit lost. And I think just by defining that area, it really makes a big difference to my lips. And I'm gonna use a little bit of this. That is the lip and cheek thing from H&M in English Rose. And then I'm gonna top it with this one here, which is Deep Rust from No. 7, and it's one of their Stay Perfect lipsticks. I haven't used this in so long, and why? I do not know, because it's lovely. And I'm just going to blend that out with my finger again, because I quite like that kind of mussed lip. I'm just going to add, I know you think I'm mental, a little bit more blush to my, because now that I've balanced out with the lips, I feel that the blush has become a little lost. And there we go, that is us. Well, now that I look like a paint box, look at this. Yeah, no, really like this. I think this has turned out really nice. It's a little deeper and darker than I think Katie Jane had managed, but you know, inspiration, not fucking absolute dupes. Really glad that I've pulled out some of my old favourites that I kind of had forgot about. That
blue palette and kind of even the electric palette as well, obviously has been the majority of what is going on in my eyes. The Kaleidos palette, which is relatively new to me, haven't used it too much yet. That's really the killer, isn't it? That's the one that's made it what it is. And this one here, these two, amazing. I can't wait to get my palette in from Angelica Nyquist. I think that will be amazing. Yeah, no, this look is right up my street. Very much enjoying it. I feel like it's kind of grungy, but it's just a little more interesting, like electro cyber grunge, I don't know. No, really like this. Like the way it's turned out. Very happy with it. I'm going to zoom you in and let you see close up now. Here we go. So this is it close up, so you can see my whiskers and all, and wrinkles, need to say as well. Yeah, so she didn't put anything in the waterline. I would be tempted. Should I just put something in the waterline? Yeah, I can like something in the waterline with it, so I'm just gonna do that. Obviously you can see my skin here. You can see like this is my natural skin texture going on here. So if you are new around here, if you have came over from Kelly's channel and you have managed to survive a whole video with my big face in it, these big cheeks, and my pure shite patter. Patter in Scotland means like chat. Would you say chat? I would say in England it's probably like banter. People in Scotland say patter. So yeah, if you've dealt with my shite for about 30 minutes now, then well done you. Please consider subscribing if you like that kind of thing. If you don't, I completely understand, that's alright. I'm really glad that I've done this today. I'm so glad that I filled out some of my old things. It just goes to show you, like, obviously I don't know what that was that Katie Jane Hughes had used on her cheek. She didn't say. I didn't have to pick up any of the shadows that she used to create her look, but I've managed to emulate it quite well, so it just goes to show you we don't need to buy brand new fucking things every single week of the month. Not saying that I won't buy anything new. I mean, I'm already struggling. We're only like a week into February and already I'm struggling. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you are all having a lovely day. Hopefully you are all keeping well, a little bit better than I was anyway. You can still kind of hear it there, can't you? It's just squeaking away. I can hear it. But if you enjoyed this, please give it a little thumbs up, a little thumbs down, then you know. And I hope to see you all again soon. See you in the next one. Bye.